Hey everyone, welcome back. So before the pandemic, our homes were a space for comfort and peace. And well, now it's become a workplace. And for some, a place of isolation and loneliness. And so our next guest is a transformational guide home healer and interior designer who joins us today to speak about realigning our home and amplifying the energy of our space through cleansing and empowering practices. Please welcome back to the show, Rebecca Gitana Torres. Hello, welcome.
I'm so happy to be here yet again. Hi,
Yay.
everybody.
Oh gosh, it's such a pleasure to have you on at the top of the year with all of these wonderful clubs that you've formulated to assist us all. I mean, we're all going through this really interesting transitional period of just reflecting. I want to say it's very reflective lately.
Yeah, absolutely. The pandemic has brought us all inside, and we can't really distract ourselves too much with, brunches, with shopping, with just being, up and down. And we are in our homes. We are surrounded with the good, the bad, and everything in between. And right now is a really great time for us to reclaim our space and to reimagine how we're living.
And the funny thing is that as I opened, we've all like compartmentalized our homes so that we kind of feel that we're in a different space. At least that's what I've done with my space, right? And we all have New York apartments with which aren't necessarily big, and so after being in that space for almost 2 years now and working alongside coworkers and having to just shift rooms and shift cameras and shift lights, after a while, it becomes it becomes impersonal.
Yeah, it's our homes are shifting their energies. And so while it can feel really impersonal, even invasive, we can definitely take this time though to shift things around and to make our home work for us. So a real quick tip is don't be afraid to redefine your living space. And maybe your dining room nook now becomes a sleeping nook. Maybe your kitchen with the good window for the Zoom lighting, maybe that becomes your corner office. Don't be afraid to redefine the space you have, because when you do that, you actually find more nooks and spaces to live in.
That's a really great tip because you also shift the energy of the space. And I know that one of the things that you live by is that the home also has its own personality.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Our home, it's a living and breathing thing as I look around my space. And I've been in my space for almost 20 years. And so when I can think back at all the different incarnations that my space has had, all of the different lifetimes, it's really incredible. And yeah, it's something to, even if you've been in your space for a year, 10 years, your environment has its own energy and you bring your energy to it. And it's like this interesting relationship and dynamic that happens. So don't be afraid to talk to your walls, to talk to your front door, to talk to your windows, your floors. Like it's a real relationship. And when you really tap into that energy, it's incredible how much more support you will feel and even inspiration to create the life that you want.
Which now leads me to this wonderful show that you just created called Healing Through the Home. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I birthed Healing Through the Home throughout the pandemic. It was shot here in my mothership where I reside, and it was birthed out into the world this summer. And the show is an incredible 1 hour medley of what it means to heal your home, like all the basics, like what does healing your home even mean? How do you heal your home? How do you incorporate spiritual cleansing practices? How do you use color to change your mood, to bring harmony into your life? How do you incorporate plants and their medicine to help you improve your outlook, to help you feel more grounded and connected to nature, and so much more? It's such a great show. Oh, and at the end, there's even a family meditational moment that you can experience. So whether you're 5 years old or 55, whether you're your first time meditating or you're a seasoned meditator, you're going to be able to tap in at the end and hang out with me and learn like how to make these cosmic connections. I love that.
That's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I mean, I think that's where we are right now, in just like you're saying, redefining ourselves in our space, right? And so, I mean, I know you were talking about redefining the space, but it's also redefining ourselves and our relationship to the space. And I know you have these amazing online clubs, or what are you're calling them, gatherings, that are also part of your programming. So let's talk about them, so that if anyone's interested in getting a one-on-one with you, they know how to go about participating and becoming part of your movement. I'm calling it a movement
It
anyway.
is a movement. When we reclaim ourselves, when we reclaim our lives, our homes, it is a movement because it translates into everything else we do. How we're loving, how we're relating to one another, how we're working in the world, the type of work that we want to do in the world, how we value ourselves and just like manage our energy and our magic. So absolutely. So to accompany the show and to accompany all the work that I'm doing, we have a few online gatherings that are going on for this month of January. We had an incredible YouTube live that everyone can tap into, which is all about, we create vision boards. We've been taught, oh, create a vision board, right? But in this YouTube live, we actually talk about how your home is the actual vision board. So check that out. And then we have an online gathering happening this Saturday called the Clutter Free Club. So if you have been holding on to things in your life and you don't know how to let go or where to start, then you definitely want to join in this Saturday. It's a 90-minute self-empowerment community gathering where we talk about clutter and actually make those connections with our clutter and the parts of our lives that are also stagnant. So it's very insightful. It helps you to really understand like why we keep things, the energy that things hold. And it's really
Yeah. I mean, decluttering is where it's at. That's where it all begins. It's almost like scooping out the gook of what's holding you back. And just to be clear, when she said Saturday, she meant January 15th.
Yes.
Just so that people know that it's, and we did mention the time. I know you go live on YouTube, so I don't know if people want to participate in that interactive aspect of it. And I know it'll be accessible to them afterwards, but is there a particular time you go live?
Everything will be always announced on my Instagram. So be sure to follow me at Rebecca Gitana and you can be in on what's going on. And yeah, the Clutter Club is going to be happening like once a month. So it'll be happening this Saturday, the 15th. And then going forward, it'll continue to happen. And then I'm also offering one-on-one. So if you're like, girl, I really need you to sit with me and help me, I do virtual, also one-on-ones and in person too.
I got to tell you, I've been purging since I want to say since my birthday in December, and I'm still purging. I'm still purging, and the reason I'm doing it so slowly is because I'm not purging just because it's a ritualistic thing to do, and that's not where I'm at. It's almost like I'm glad we're having this conversation. I'm purging from this perspective of recognizing, like, why am I holding on to this? Like, I'm never really going to use this again. Like, what is that attachment? So it's lovely that you're offering these services. It really is.
And it's a powerful practice because when you learn to let go of the things you've been clinging on to, you also start to reflect on other things in your life, the intangible things like people, like thoughts and emotions and habits that you're also clinging on to. And you create this cycle of like, letting go of the claws and releasing. And when we release things, it's incredible what actually comes forward next.
Absolutely, because you're making space. That's the whole point of it. Now, before we go, because we're running out of time, we got to mention the other two clubs because you have like a whole, I want to say like a weekly, or no, not necessarily, because the Cocoon of Transformation is on January 17th, but I'm going to let you explain that too.
So the Cocoon of Transformation is a gathering that's been happening for over 2 years now. And this is a place for you to get into your cocoon and to get into some rituals and some spiritual practices that will help you to get ready for the next phase. This cocoon, the category is expansion. So learn.
That's awesome. It's appropriate, right? Because if you're going to be making room, what are you making room for? Expansion.
Nice. And so what does that mean to make space in your life? What does that mean to release and to relax into your space, to enlarge your energetic territory? We're going to get into all of that. And then the last gathering that's happening is the Garden Club. And the Garden Club is all about teaching you how to grow your green thumb, the power of hanging out with your plant allies and all of that good stuff. And in each club, we go into different types of meditations and practices. So it's really empowering, interactive, and you're going to walk away having new skills and be really inspired.
As she sits on the throne amongst her plant family.
Yes, they're all here.
You go, Queen. Go, Queen. Congratulations on all, and thank you for being of service to our community. Rebecca Gitana Torres. Once again, you guys, you can watch Healing Through the Home on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Android TV. And for more information on how to watch and participate in her online gatherings, you can visit RebeccaGitana.com and check her out on Instagram at Rebecca Gitana. All right, stay tuned because Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup is coming up next.